up, guys? My name is Megan. Welcome to another episode of Treat Yourself. Today we are going to be making some donuts of a few varieties. Very exciting. So what you're gonna need to make these donuts, it's a lot actually, but not mostly, just this is what you're gonna need. Some flour, milk, corn syrup, some eggs, yeast, butter, vanilla bean paste, cocoa powder, peanut butter and Reese's, sugar, powdered and white granulated sugar, some heavy whipping cream, and a ton of oil. Anyway, it's time to pour some drinks. So we're gonna have, it's daytime while we're filming Treat Yourself. Crazy, but we're still gonna drink. So on that, we're gonna be sporting Blue Moon iced coffee beers. Amazing. Maybe a shot too, because it is our one and only Sierra's birthday today. Hell yeah. You know what, F that, we're gonna do the shots. We're gonna do the shots now actually for Sierra's birthday. Woo. It would be more proper to do Sierra's birthday shots if it was whiskey, but unfortunately.
By the time they're gonna see this, it's gonna be January. And I'm not getting happy birthday wishes.
Listen, it's your birthday now, so it's fine. In January when you see this, whenever it is, wish her happy birthday anyway. And tequila shots, even though this is not really your brand. Sorry, I'm doing this far from you. And with all the ingredients in the way. Just got too excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, there's a mess in the way during the shot. Like I said, I jumped the gun. Oh, I gave myself a big one. God damn. Oh! Hey. Hell yeah. Cheers, Sierra's birthday. Happy birthday. Oh God. That was a lot. Yeah. Why did I pour such a big shot? Happy birthday, Sierra! You're old now.
Shut up.
It's okay, I'm still older, so. Anyway, I'm gonna pour some beers here for us and we're gonna start making some donuts. All right, so first step to making donuts is we're going to get our yeast situation ready to go. So for this, we're using a cup and 1/8 of milk, whole milk. And I'm just gonna heat that up on the stove just so it's a little warm. Truly, there is a specific temperature it is supposed to be. We're just gonna let it get a little warm. I don't have a thermometer, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be like too specific as long as it's warm. We're using 1 packet of yeast for this and 1/4 of a cup of sugar. So I'm gonna get the sugar in the bowl because we're gonna dissolve the sugar before we add the yeast. And once the milk is warm, we'll add it all together. Oh wait, it's already kind of warm. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we're gonna add our warm milk to our sugar and we're just gonna whisk it up to dissolve it. And then you're gonna add your packet of dry yeast as well to this. And you're gonna whisk that in to dissolve it as well. I like to use a whisk for yeast because I found if you stir it with a spoon, when the yeast gets wet, it gets like really sticky and weird and you don't wanna deal with that shit. It's gonna look like that. And we're gonna set it aside for 5 to 10 minutes, just depending on how long it takes for it to form a foam on top of the yeast. And wait, actually, let me see how many, sorry. I didn't know how much salt. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Not a lot. Okay, what?
Nothing, you'll see in the edit.
F you, man. I mean, it's your birthday, happy birthday. So, now that your yeast is looking like this, nice and weird, we're ready to continue mixing everything. So I'm gonna start by mixing up the rest of our wet ingredients. Here we have 2 eggs. We're gonna add that in. We're gonna whisk in our 2 eggs, and I have a stick and 1/4 of butter. Gonna add that as well. And then here I have 4 cups of sifted flour that we're just going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt to. Mix it together so it's combined.
Such a random utensil that you decided to use.
My whisk is wet. I would use the whisk, I only have 1 though. Actually, I do have 2 whisks. Okay, so now you're gonna just whisk all of it together. This is very effective, very efficient. No, I actually do have another whisk though. Whatever, it's not important, it's already mixed. It's totally fine at this point. I'm gonna transfer these to a bigger bowl so that I can mix them together. Again, this is something that you would probably normally use a stand mixer for. I don't have a stand mixer, they're very expensive. So we're gonna just do it by hand, which is also fine. So I have everything here. I'm gonna add the flour little by little, mix it all in with a wooden spoon. It's gonna be a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be harder than I actually thought it was.
Do you want somebody to volunteer to help you?
So just pour it in like a little bit at a time, I'll tell you. No, it's totally fine. You're not gonna f it. Just pour it in like slowly.
Drops the entire thing in there.
I swear to God. I am the stand mixer at this point. You are me. Look at that. Look at that teamwork.
Baking.
You're baking right now. Look at it, it's turning into dough. My arm's getting tired. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for your help.
Pleasure to be on the show. Thank you for having me.
Yep. Okay, and it's turning into dough now. You see that?
Donut dough.
Donut dough. All right. It's very sticky. Okay, so your dough is like this. So we're actually gonna get this bowl back out to use it for proofing. What is proofing? Proofing is when you let your dough rest for an extended period of time. When you're making dough like this, it like expands over time. Proofing is poofing. Proofing is poofing. Wow, I just had a brain blast.
Yes, definitely.
We're making terms with Megan.
With the cursive treat yourself font.
Poofing is proofing.
Perfect, I got it.
Okay, cool. It's so stupid. Okay. Wait, did I say it backwards? So I'm going to get this ready for proofing by putting a teeny bit of oil in this bowl. And I'm going to just make sure the bowl is covered in oil because this dough is super sticky and we do not want that. So I'm going to put our dough into this oiled bowl. We're going to cover it with plastic wrap and we're gonna stick it in the fridge so that it's also, since it's so sticky, like when you try and form this, it's just gonna be a mess. We're gonna put it in the fridge so that it also hardens up a little bit so we can form our donut shapes. And it's also going to poof probably pretty big. We hope, pretty big. We're gonna cover it and stick it in the fridge for 2 hours. And yeah, I don't know, finish our iced coffee beers. And we'll be back with poofy shit. So it's been 2 hours. And our dough is ready. I took it out of the fridge already. Sorry. Take a look. So as you can see, it poofed. It's super airy, which is great. I'm gonna flour the surface a little bit and roll it out so that we can cut the shapes of our donuts before we fry them. Do a little bit of that, make a little mess. God, I forgot I'm wearing black. So stupid. I always do that to myself. Use a shit ton of flour while I'm wearing all black. These sleeves don't even really roll up, so that's very nice. So I'm gonna just go ahead and roll this dough out onto the counter. I don't wanna flatten it too much because you want these donuts to poof up and expand when you fry them and you don't wanna roll it too flat. Roll this out to be about a ½ inch. We're gonna call it that. So I'm gonna use my very professional, very baker fancy tools to cut out our donuts. These. We're gonna cut them out like this. Some of them we're gonna do with filling and some of them we're not. So some of them will have donut holes. Okay, so some of these we're gonna make little holes. A little donut hole. Now that we have them all cut out, we are gonna place them onto a greased pan to wait. They're gonna chill there before we fry them. To wait, they're waiting. Look, little donut holes. They're so cute. And these ones that don't have holes, we're hoping for these to extra super duper poof up when we fry them so we can fill them with delicious peanut buttery goodness. So I'm not gonna let this go to waste. We're gonna mush this back together a little bit, re-roll it, and just keep cutting them until we have, I mean, we're not gonna waste this much dough. Why did I say it like that? We have all of our donuts cut, ready to go. We have our oil. We're using canola oil. You just fill up the pot about 1 inch or 2 deep. We're waiting for that to boil. It's gotta be hot for the donuts to fry or else they're just gonna like be oil soaked dough and that's very disturbing and that's not a donut. So this needs to heat up. If you've watched any of our other Sierra hosted shows, you know how to tell when oil's hot. If you flick some water onto it and it starts dancing. Right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, it just starts dancing.
It starts dancing.
Dancing.
So yeah, while we're waiting for the oil to dance. Anyway, we're gonna take shots, right?
Wow.
The other one has literally nothing in it. It's okay, we're gonna distribute them. You're welcome.
Pour on a monopod.
Yay! Look at that talent though. Get it. That's so nasty. All right, after a few tests, we've tested some of our little donut holes. I think we've gotten our oil to the right temperature to fry these properly so that they poof out real cute, like real donuts. And they're a little heavy, but they're gonna float when they're more ready. And you probably want them to be about a minute on each side, but definitely when it starts getting brown on one side, you can kind of flip them over and check them. They are poofing too. Hell yeah. Look at that golden brown. Oh my goodness. Wow, they look great. Okay, I can drop some more in. They can fit. I'm gonna do 2 of the ones that are going to be filled. Be careful dropping these in. Hot oil will burn the out of you, so.
Excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. Back to my roots. For those of you that know me, I worked at donut shops for like 4 years. Any of my Krispy Kreme and or Dunkin' Donuts people out there that are my friends on Facebook, you know what's up. They look more, definitely they look more airy than the first ones I made. Oh my God, they are. All right, so we have some more donuts to fry. We're gonna fry these up and set them aside, and then we're gonna come back and make some glaze, some toppings, some frosting, and we're gonna have some donuts to eat. All right, so next up we have all of our donuts fried, perfectly golden, beautiful. We're gonna make a glaze for them. So we're starting with 4 cups of powdered sugar we have sifted. So I'm gonna start by adding a 1/2 cup of, or 1 stick of melted butter to this. Probably gonna be really thick and stick to the whisk at first. You know, while we're starting this, I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla paste as well. Vanilla extract, vanilla paste. I have this fancy vanilla paste. I'm not gonna lie, it slaps. I recommend it. They sell it at Trader Joe's for $5. We're gonna add that with our butter, and we're just gonna stir it up until we get it to be the desired consistency, which we want it to be pretty thick, but we're gonna add a little bit of milk as we go when we need to thin it out a little more, and I think we're gonna have to do that. I'm just gonna add a little dash of milk to it right now, and just like a little at a time, because it's really, really easy to accidentally make it too thin. Looks like mashed potatoes. Straight up. All right, and then you put it on a plate, eat it with a spoon. Perfect. Mashed potatoes. Happy Thanksgiving. Just gonna add a tiny bit more. So you wanna make sure that it dries and hardens to be translucent. You don't want your donut to look entirely like it's white with glaze. So now that we have that, we're gonna glaze all of these donuts. Typically, it's best to like kind of pour the glaze over the donuts, but we don't have machinery that will help us do that. So we're just gonna glaze them all by hand. Gonna kind of dunk it in there and flip it over. Make sure it's glazed on all sides. Ooh, this glaze might still be too thick. See, that's a little bit intense.
But that looks
Yeah.
so good though.
It's probably delicious, but that's f***ed up. You know, like this is exactly what I was talking about, what you probably don't want your donut to look like. But this could also be attributed to the fact that these donuts are a little bit cooled off, so the glaze isn't just melting off immediately. All right, we're gonna put that back on the rack so that it can harden. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more milk to this because it seems like it might be a little too thick still. So it's still pretty thick, but you can already tell, like you can see the color of the donut underneath it, and that's kind of more what we're looking for. So we're gonna get to glazing the rest of these donuts, and we'll be right back once they're glazed so that we can make the toppings and fillings. Our donuts are glazed, so we're going to go ahead and make some chocolate icing for some of our glazed donuts. Very simple. We're just gonna use the remaining glaze that we have and add cocoa powder and a bit of corn syrup to it. I'll start with like that much and see what happens. Honestly, last time I did this, I kind of looked for the color because I feel like you kind of know what color chocolate frosting is supposed to be on a donut, and that is not it yet. So we're gonna add some more. So we have that. And in our other pot, I'm gonna mix up our peanut butter. Oh wait, I forgot to put the corn syrup in. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this for hardenings, for goodness. So I have here in this pot 1/4 stick of butter melted. And that's what I'm gonna use to make our peanut butter filling. Do that, I'm just gonna add a bunch of peanut butter.
There's a lot of butter in these donuts.
It's like all f***ing butter, yeah. I think it's for like 3/4 cup. I'm just, again, eyeballing it because I apparently love to do that. Whisk that all together to get the peanut butter all melty, the butter still being warm. Peanut butter and butter, can't go wrong. To that, we're adding a little bit, maybe a tablespoon or 2 of heavy whipping cream. And to that, we're adding about 1 cup or so of powdered sugar so that it gets kind of fluffy and creamy, like what you would expect a cream filling to be. Oh yeah, it's looking perfect. A lot of elements going into these donuts. Look at that. That looks smooth, creamy, amazing. And that is peanut butter filling right there. Hell yeah. So to like really get it ready, the peanut butter is the filling. So we need to make a little thingy, like a pastry bag. I don't have a pastry bag, but if you have plastic bags, you have a pastry bag. Cut the tip off of your plastic bag. And I do have some pastry tips, so that's helpful. I'm gonna shove that through the plastic bag. Hell yeah. And now we're ready to go. The last thing I'm gonna do to make sure we're like ready to go, I wanna make some sprinkle donuts. Kinda need to dip the donuts in the sprinkles to really do it right. All right, donut station, armed and ready. Actually, I need one more thing. It's when you thought you were ready, with your station fully ready. I'll just crush them up by hand onto the top. It's fine. Okay. So we're gonna start by filling our Reese's cup filled donuts. We're gonna just poke a hole in them and kind of make sure you don't puncture the bottom. So we poke a little hole in the side. You take your filling bag and you can tell when it's like just about, oh, it's coming out sides a little. You can tell when it's done because it'll feel heavier. Like it'll have a little weight to it. We're gonna do the suggestion that I said, and we're gonna put the chocolate topping on this side so we can hide the fact that it's broken. We're gonna dip it, swirl it a little bit. Ooh, it looks like our frosting is a little bit thick, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna top it with some Reese's. That, my friends, is a Reese's cup donut. Yeah!
That looks so good.
Okay, so meanwhile, our glazed ones are not quite ready to frost yet because the glaze is still super wet. We're just gonna try this one before we even finish making the rest of them because hello. Oh no. Oh wait. Oh my god, yeah, these are absolutely so much better than the first ones. They're not totally ready to eat yet because the toppings are still kind of like runny, but look at the center and how much more airy it is. It's a little crispy on the outside, it's got fluffy on the inside. Y'all wanna try this shit? Ooh.
My favorite thing you've made on this show.
Really? That's amazing.
You get the peanut butter from the Reese's like on top, but once you have the filling, oh my god. God, imagine.
Happy birthday donut.
Yeah, she everywhere, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oy.
A big bite.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, she's soft.
And that's it.
Soft.
No more thoughts. She's soft.
Soft. Oh, is she messy? Abort.
Shove it in your
Get
mouth, all of it. All right, y'all, we made some glazed donuts today. We got them chocolate frosted, the sprinkled donuts, the Reese's, what do we call those? The Reese's cup donuts? Fucking Reese's donuts, yeah, that's what they're called. They're fluffy, they're amazing, they're beautiful. It's a process, but it's a labor of love. And you can make donuts at home. I highly recommend it. Treat yourself to some donuts, y'all. I don't know, that's it.